Obviously, as you know, Fedora 17 is the Beefy Miracle release with its mascot, our friendly, smiling hot dog. Personally, on my hot dogs, I like chili cheese and onions.
When my Beefy Miracles are prepared for me, I do it with chili, onions, and mustard.
I think I'd go with sauerkraut, mustard, and at least a pint, if not a few, pints of good beer.
My name's ROBYN BERGERON. I am the Fedora project leader at Red Hat. I lead the Fedora project in its pursuit of worldwide Beefy Miracles and happiness. You know, one of the cool things about Fedora is we really like to sort of push people forward into, you know, the future. So, you know, we always take a lot of pride in having the newest and latest, greatest, and, you know, languages and development tools. You know, it's not just that we have the newest tools, but also that, you know, the applications that are already in Fedora that are, you know, built with those languages are, you know, being sort of recompiled to run and take advantages of the natural progression of those languages.
In Fedora, we want to be one of the primary choices for open source developers to work on new features, new programming, new ideas. And so we always try and stay on the cutting edge of development. In Fedora 17, we have automatic multi-seat support, we have multitouch support, we have a new clustering stack, and we have many new programming languages and development tools for our users to use.
Fedora has actually been rebuilt with GCC 4.7, so lots of new meaty things coming into this release. We've got the newest version of Ruby, deprogramming language, PHP, GIMP, Sugar, GNOME 3, Erlang, JBoss Application Server 7 is in there with Java 7. There's just a ton of very, you know, up-to-date, new, cool languages that are going into Fedora 17 this time around.
Now that we have a Java application server, you know, JBoss AS as a Fedora package, all I have to do is type yum install JBoss AS, and it comes down, it gets Java for me, it gets all the dependencies, it sets it up, I use my init script and I start the server, and it's done. So when I think about who would care that there's now JBoss application server in Fedora, I would say that absolutely it would cover the full spectrum of users, because if you make it easier to attain installation or configuration of software, you're going to save people time. And I think that's a huge benefit, and this is it's the first time we've had a Java EE application server available as a package on Linux, I think in any distribution. So this is a big deal.
Fedora 17 will bring in the latest release of OpenStack, and it'll be the entire release. All the functionality is there. One of the things Red Hat has become involved in OpenStack, and one of the things that we were interested in doing in OpenStack was help take apart two different pieces of an upstream project. OpenStack was doing both development and then packaging and delivering of the end result. It's cool because then as a developer you have a platform. If you're a Fedora developer, you have a platform with all the functionality there.
I guess one of the bigger things that we've been doing in Fedora lately is we've been, I guess, moving to the cloud, which sounds, you know, sort of cliche in some ways, but, you know, I think it's something that it's an important move for us to be making for a number of reasons. Fedora is very much about freedom. So for us, you know, ensuring that we're helping, you know, with the rest of open source land to sort of, you know, ensure that as everybody's making these moves to the cloud, that we're doing them, you know, in as free and open sourcey kinds of ways as possible.
For Fedora, open cloud is perennially important because this is one of those emerging fields where open source is taking the leading role and not playing catch up, and has become the standard. Fedora has always been a leader in the open source space. It has always been the showcase of the latest and greatest that's available, and is always that birthplace of innovation.
Interestingly, in Fedora, we have a lot of different people from different communities that, you know, that are sort of cloudy, but they all kind of work together in Fedora. So, you know, we have these groups of people who are, you know, all working on their own separate upstream projects, but we all share a lot of the same problems. You know, it's not just a good place for people who want to package stuff in Fedora because that's, you know, that's helpful, but it's not the be-all to end-all. It's a good place for people who use Fedora who want to learn about the cloud.
I hope that this collaboration continues because I think bringing these tools to people is going to help, you know, people be more productive. I think that bringing open source communities together is where you really start to share ideas. And when you bring these ideas together, you start to experience innovation. And that innovation is what drives progress in both of our communities.
this is my first release as Fedora project leader, so I'm hoping that it is a beefy one. How do I take my hot dog? I take my hot dog with a side of freedom.
Freedom.
A bit of friends, a couple of features, and I eat it first before anybody else does.
Well, I do it with relish myself. And I also make sure that I have appropriate undergarments for eating hot dogs on any occasion. Oh, the mustard indicates progress.